And my little Dragon Ball Z shirt, it has the design on the back too. I'm fancy. I'm fancy. But this is how I look today. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Jess here. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you like it, and only if you like it. But feel free to subscribe and tag along with us for whatever we are doing here. This video is focused on anxiety and living with it and overcoming it. I remember, I didn't always kind of have like anxiety issues. And I don't exactly remember when it started. I've always been the kind of person who's been in her head a lot. Like, I remember even when I was younger, like, just always being in my head and thinking up stories and ideas and, scenarios, and just always being that kind of person whose brain was always running. Even when I was little. But I never let it affect me. Like, when I was younger, I always had a lot of friends. Always hung out with my cousins and stuff. So I always had a really fun and good childhood, and it was great. I was always active. I remember, like, thinking back on it. I had like a panic attack like once or twice when I was younger, but it was so like random. I never really thought of it as much. I just remember like crying a lot and not being able to catch my breath. But then again, it only happened like once or twice in my childhood. It didn't really happen to me at all. And it wasn't until I went to college where things started to kind of go downhill. I wasn't doing well. I was on my own. I didn't have any friends at this point in school. And it was hard for me to kind of be on my own and failing. And it was like, what am I doing? And everything kind of just seemed to start crashing down. So I had to come home one time because I had a really bad panic attack at school. I came home, I was out of school for 3 days. And when I went back, I went to go see a therapist. And that lasted for maybe like 6 weeks, I think. Yeah, like 6 weeks. I started like getting back into my regular swing of things. And I was fine for the rest of school. It was me and like 3-4 friends. And that was it. I always went home on the weekends. I always worked. So I never even got to see like my other friends that much from church, because who were the ones that I really grew up with, and those are my cousins. I never got to see them as much because I was always working on the weekends. So I started becoming isolated from them. So they started going out without me because I was always working. So of course their little group got tighter, and I felt like I was drifting further apart. And me being the kind of person who was always in my head, it was every time we came back together, it was always like, I never felt like I really belonged. I always felt like I was like a little on the outside. And it always took me a while to come back in. And so I started noticing it started getting worse. Like, every time I'd be around them, I would be like, do I really belong here? Is this, like, I know we're friends, but, like, are we that close anymore? Like, why am I here? Like, do you guys really feel like I'm a friend? Plus the fact that I'm not the kind of person who picks up the phone. I hate talking on the phone. Like, I hate talking on the phone. But at the same time, like, texting kind of wears me out too. I'd rather just see you in person. Like, I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to text you. I just want to see you in person. So I never called anybody. I never texted anybody. I could never see anybody. And so it just made me feel so much farther away. For 3 years, my panic attacks were horrible. Like, it started out being every 6 months, and then it went down to every 3 months. And I mean, it was horrible. And to the point that my boyfriend I was with at the time was like, you need to get help. Like, there is something wrong. You need to talk to someone. And my mom saw that I was getting like depressed more, and I was like going into like these cycles where I was not reaching out to people, so I was being alone, and then being alone depressed me, and then it would kind of spiral, and it would kind of like go down into these panic attacks where I would get like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I don't know what my purpose is, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I still had my dreams and my goals and my ambitions, but it was just like, life is hard and I don't want to do it anymore. But the thought of killing myself never, came into play. It was just getting to that point of despair where it's like, what am I doing here? and it would just be that all over again. And it would be constant, and it would just be one big circle. I had never told my friends, so if they watch this, will be the first time they ever hear these stories. I never told my friends what was going on. My mom only knew half of what was going on. Like, she knew I was going through these different stages, but she didn't know why. When I got into a relationship that I'm in now, you guys know Rella, if you've seen him. If you guys haven't seen him, there's a video that I do, a couple videos that I do with him. But and one of the reasons that I really appreciate him, not to take away from everybody else in my life, but he really started asking me, like, the hard questions. He was like, why do you feel this way? Okay, well, why did you feel that way? Okay, well, what happened to bring on that emotion? Like, he really started making me dig into issues that I was having with myself and why I felt certain ways and, you know, coping mechanisms and things like that. So one of the things that I started doing that really helped with the anxiety and everything was because I had all this stuff building up, but I don't talk to people. I don't get those things out. But I write. So writing really lets me, like, clear out my head, you know, dig through my problems, and I come out feeling so clear, focused, driven, ready to take on the world. And just, it doesn't have to make sense, it doesn't have to be in order. Just start writing out how I feel, like a diary, essentially. Just writing out, this is how I feel, blah, 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 and just helping myself work it through. Reading my Bible helped too, because that was one of the things that, you know, when I would read, I would apply what I read to my life, whatever I was dealing with right now, and just work it all out and write it all out. And by the time I got to the end, I felt light. Literally, I felt like a weight had just been lifted, and I just felt like I could tackle anything in the world you threw at me. And then I have these moments where I'm like, let's call everybody, let's do everything. And so then I take advantage of those moments. I call my friends, I text them, I see how they're doing. You know, it drains me out, because then 10 minutes later I'm asleep. But, you know, even when I'm bored or I'm at home, I'll pick up my phone and I'll just text a friend like, hey, what's up? You know, little things to kind of just keep myself in the loop and keep myself, you know, aware of what's happening with people around me. And not being so focused on myself, you know. So that's a lot of, you know, me and how I kind of got to this place and how I'm slowly beginning to work myself out of it. And since I have, you know, knock on wood, I haven't had a panic attack in like a year. And I'm proud of myself, because it means that I'm having growth. You know, I do still have little spells when I get like really down on myself, but I now have ways to kind of get myself out of that and bring myself back out of that. And you know, I've been reconnecting with my friends more, hanging out more, saying yes to more things, you know, not being so lazy, exercising, taking care of myself, drinking water more. Like, so many things have helped me kind of just come out of myself and little by little start to see myself kind of come alive again. And I think that has just been one of the greatest things that I'm proud of in my life, is that I am slowly becoming, you know, the me that I was when I was little. But that's it. That's really how I have just overcome. That's really how I'm in the process of overcoming my anxiety. And it has worked a lot. So I don't know if you guys struggle with anxiety, like, what are some things that you used to cope? What are some things that you guys do to, you know, bring yourself back out if you've, you know, been struggling with anxiety? I think that's it. 'Cause yeah, I mean, learning how to overcome the things that are holding you back in life is all a part of self-care. And we are a big self-care fanatics here at this channel. We are big on improving you and being a better you and being the best version of you that you can be. So thank you guys so much. I'm done because I'm tired, I'm hot, I'm sweating. I'm gonna take a nap and edit these videos and kick them out to y'all. But thank you guys so much for joining me again today. Like I said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to subscribe, and I hope that you do, hit the subscribe button and also the notification button so you can see exactly when I post new content. I will see you guys next time. And I hope that I hope you guys just continue to be the best versions of yourself. That's it. Love you guys. Bye.